coming down, giving up that because the creep is there, and that's the vision that we're talking about as the stun comes out here on Rhaegar, who's up here, but we see damage going out.
Out mid and then
a little
go.
bit of trouble.
Kerrigan just went down there. She went in to try to get a kill on Raynor, but the 3-hero combo of Rhaegar, Jaina, and Raynor just took her out. No problem.
These are the rotations. We're probably going to see a few people out of position get caught from time to time as we do see another tribute coming up. Going to be on the side pretty much of Riot. They're going to have a little bit more opportunity as they've hit level 7 first and starting to get a little bit of damage in on these structures. They've got to be careful. I'm curious if they're going to rotate down. It's just about to spawn. Leoric and Vala seem to be content with staying in that top lane. Now I'm curious as we see Rhaegar possibly the only person rotating down for this tribute.
Yeah, it looks like they're going to be held up quite a bit by the Jaina-Raynor combo in mid. It's not letting them get in there, so Riot's going to take this one uncontested.
And so both teams pretty much giving away one as we do see the creep now starting to make spread. That's going to prevent any ganks. PKX feeling very, very safe down here. I'd like to see Lightning Shield go out to try and clear out some of that creep. I believe that does clear that. And we do see another engagement here. This 3v3, and there's the Feral Lunge coming in, and the stun coming out on Rhaegar, trying to get out of there, just avoiding that grasp there from Bisong on Kerrigan. And we see these early engagements right now. Both teams not afraid to engage here in this middle lane.
Yeah, however, on that top lane, you are not seeing much action at all. There have been trades back and forth. It looks like they've got equal amounts, but it looks like Riot is going to rotate up to try to get a nice pick off on Jaina and Vala here.
This is interesting because Bisong has to be careful. Coming back behind it, Nick Wu now diving in, and Nick Wu has to be careful as Jaina is there, not getting the stun out, but the Blizzard coming down, rotating over is Leoric, trying to offer some support. And now comes the next tribute again, spawning near that bottom area. It's going to be interesting as that Zagara build. I like these new updated graphics. The informed spines. I actually had to double check that to make sure that was the right talent.
Yeah, it looks like there's not going to be much contention for this second tribute here. There looks like Riot might just be trying to soak in lane for a little bit to get their 10s first before they give it, but they might start poking it any second. As Zagara moves up and goes to take it, again, not a lot of contention on these.
The poke does come out there from Nick Wu, and now we're going to see the stun coming out from Yurden getting in there. The Blizzard does go down, not able to secure any bit more damage. We do see the totem going on, trying to get the slow, but Johanna in there, able to defend nicely, and we're going to see Blizzard go ahead and rotate back, possibly try and get new positioning, but will that give Riot time to capture this as Riot rotates back to the middle and Yurden back to the bottom?
It looks like they're backing off completely, and they might give this one to Blizzard.
And just missing out there, Shamzilla, and nice poke there from Raider to interrupt it, but how long can they do this? Almost at level 10 is Riot. I'm not sure if that's what they're waiting for or whether they're just looking for an engagement.
And there goes the level 10s. So we see B-Song's about to go down, and everybody is dropping like flies on this fight. I'm not sure who's going to be coming out on top in this case.
Yeah, both teams losing members on both ends, but we do see 4 people now go down for Blizzard. PKX trying to get out of there. Level 10 was hit. We saw the Hyperion go up. Avatar was pop. All heroics went out except for that Ancestral Healing. I believe I did see it cast, but I'm guessing somebody went down before it was able to land, so all heroics did go out there. That Ancestral Healing is going to be around, but that is going to be 2 tributes to 1. And for Blizzard, they're actually going to have the opportunity to get to 10 before the next tribute. So the next tribute fight could be very interesting as we do take a look at that bottom lane where it looks like Muradin and Jaina are down here trying to do a bit of damage to clear out some of these structures.
Yeah, at this point before the next tribute, it looks like both teams are probably going to try to get some lane presence back. Riot right now seems to have the advantage here, and they are going to try to push as much as they can. They're taking out bottom fort pretty well. It looks like the gates might be down before the next tribute.
Trying to get this. Again, level 10 is hit. As we now take a look at the Blizzard Heroics, we are going to see that Divine Shield. We're going to see Blessed Shield coming out from Johanna. Devouring Maul, of course, Maelstrom there for Kerrigan. And then that Strafe, which does a ton of damage, going to be coming out from Vala as we now have that Tribute spawning right up by Nick Wu. And I'm curious if they're going to rotate over. We do see Blizzard trying to get in position. And it looks like we might have a party bush. B-Song trying to be their solo. Raynor has to.
No, they might kind of catch out this Raynor down here. And it looks like Raynor is going to go down if this goes at... Yes, he is. But they're giving that tribute. Nope, they're backing off. Leoric is staying top lane, and it looks like Riot is going to back off.
Diving in there, Maximus using his Dwarf Dodge, trying to get in there, popping that Avatar, doing the damage. We do see the Devouring Maul come out, but one hero goes down as Vala goes down. Kerrigan goes down, diving in on this back lane. We've got all kinds of damage going out. The Ancestral Healing comes out, and Zagara goes down. A 1-for-3 trade right now, and Strifey in all kinds of trouble. Johanna, I'm not sure if she's going to get out of this alive. She does pop her Iron Skin. Can they get the kill? And we see, I think that Lightning Shield did clip at the last minute, securing that, and that's going to be a curse coming to that of Riot as they hit their level 13 talents.
That was an interesting play by Riot there, as they kind of alluded that they were not going to go for the tribute at all, but then they saw the opportunity to take out Blizzard in that mid lane and just decided to push with it. So now that the tribute is up, you'll see that the towers can't be actually fired upon. It'll be interesting to see where they try to push here to try to get more power.
Raynor using that Hyperion in the top lane. That's going to do that extra structure damage. They're going to try and get this push here. If they can get a fort or two down, that's going to get them well on their way to level 16, as they now have a 2.5 level lead advantage, and they're only going to extend this with this first curse. And rotating down, this is going to be interesting. We do see Nick Wu and Maximus both rotating down. Zagara out here getting caught by that Blizzard. No fear, Dwarf Toss in. Out comes the stun. Strafe trying to ward it off, but PKX does go down. Nice rotation from Riot, and it looks like they're going to take the bottom fort as well.
Those changes to Rhaegar really helped him out here. As you could see, he was hanging out there with Zagara by himself for a little while, and a couple of weeks ago, Rhaegar would never be able to just sit in a lane alone while taking out a tower against Zagara. She'd be able to push him off right away, but he seems he's a lot tankier now and able to do much more damage.
Riot being very aggressive. You can see they are up here trying to take care of damage on the front gate of the top keep, and you can see rotating out of there, possibly an opportunity for Blizz to get a couple kills as they had a 3-2 advantage, but the curse is over, and it looks like this middle fort is going to go down as well. So nicely done right now by Riot. They're almost at level 16 around the same time that Blizzard's going to be getting 13, and you can see they now technically have a 2 talent advantage, at least for the moment. So Riot in complete control right now on Cursed Hollow.
And it looks like Riot is going to be trying to get their boss, give it itself even more lane presence in that top lane. It looks like we see Blizzard is going to go down, try to do a Merc rotation itself. I'm not sure if they're going to try to hit their own boss as well, but it's going to be interesting to see what they move from here.
They really need to get their own boss right here, because if they don't, that means it's going to be a double boss for that of Riot, and they better get into doing some damage here. They're about halfway done. We're probably going to see Riot rotate down and possibly look for theirs as well. That boss, as strong as they are with this talent level advantage, they might be able to rotate up, and you can see Rhaegar coming in there, and he is getting that Feral Lunge in, but not before the boss goes, already using the Ancestral Healing on himself. You see the Devouring Maul go out on that back line and turning things around. We do see the Strafe coming out, securing the kill, but Kerrigan goes down. Dwarf Toss in that back line. Maximus getting another kill there, and now we see Batman in all kinds of trouble. I'm not sure if he's going to survive, but he does get the stun, but no, he does go down there.
And it looks like Johanna is also going to drop by Nick Wu by Jaina up in the top lane there. That's one of the risks with going with boss when you have such a low level advantage from the other team. They have the chance to come through and just wipe you up right after that's done.
This is going to be huge. In this top lane, the boss is pushing, not even at half health. We do see Leoric up here supporting, and starting to spawn back is going to be the members of Blizzard, but this top keep is going down. The Entomb does go out. Skakik is going to go down there. We do see the Ice Block coming out there, avoiding the stuns from B-Song there on Kerrigan. Will they continue to push here? The stun comes out. Zagara has to get out of there as we see Jaina went down. I'm not sure. Did she go down on the back line?
I think she went by minions on the back line. She had just appeared off the screen, but the Golem is doing quite the damage to the blue team still.
Yeah, they really need to avoid that stun, doing a little bit of damage to the shield, not able to take down that shield entirely, but you can see the damage starting to go out now, and we do see 17 kills right now to 6 in favor of Riot, playing very well right now. Raynor down here in the bottom lane has to be very careful. We do see B-Song flying in. Out comes the stun, the Ravage, the stun. The Kerrigan combo is there. The knockback is there, but not enough, as, again, Raynor, with that lower health pool, can be blown up a little bit easier, and we saw it happen just there.
Yeah, it looks like they're going to have quite the disadvantage going in here, so it might be smart for the Riot team just to back off and give this to them. This is not a curse-giving tribute, I should say, so they don't have to worry as much about Blizzard getting that one.
If Blizzard can go ahead and continue to soak here, avoid any possible ganks, get to 16, they'll be on somewhat of an even playing field to be on that same talent level, and that's going to be their opportunity. They really need to win a team fight. They need to have a pick or something to turn in their favor to really turn this game around, and there they are hitting level 16, and this is going to be an opportunity for them to hopefully get a comeback. If not, this next team fight could mean good game, because that top keep is gone, and we see Leoric over here already grabbing this top siege camp. And now we might have an engagement here. Jaina has to be very careful with her positioning. And we might have Riot split up a little bit if Blizzard can sniff this out and possibly get a pick here.
Luckily for Riot, it looks like that tribute popped up and distracted them just in time as they go in and see Johanna splits out on her own now, and she might drop now as the entire Riot team, except for Raynor, falls on her. But no, Blizzard is going to pop in. But it doesn't look like we're going to see an engagement here. Both teams are backing off slowly because I think they're going to want to go for that tributes.
Without Raynor there, that would have been a tough commitment from Riot going in 4v5, but that does give Raynor the opportunity to go ahead and drop down, secure a tribute for themselves, and to be able to get one in that quest for the curses. We see the Devouring Maul coming out a little bit preemptive there on that back line. It does secure one. The Entomb does come out, and we do see all kinds of damage. Divine Shield does go out there. The Strafe is coming out. Can we see a kill? The Ancestral Healing keeping Maximus alive. Kerrigan does go down, though, and they're now making the push. Vala goes down. The Hyperion comes out, and we see PKX in all kinds of trouble. Will he survive? He will, but this could be the beginning of the end. Strifey going down there. Maximus dwarf tossing in, and a 5-2 advantage. And if they get this keep down, they might turn and just go for the core because they're going to hit 20 right now.
Yeah, they've got their 20 there. They've got 5 men still up, and they've still got some heals out of Rhaegar that he can give them. So it's going to be interesting. They're probably just going to push, and they're going for the core right now. It looks like they're going to be able to get enough damage. It is starting to just melt down. Blizzard's not able to do enough damage. It's Uther and Zagara just can't do enough AoE damage, and it looks like the core is going to drop now. We see the GGs come out, and that is the game.
Game number 1, of course, going to Riot. And if you're wondering, the score, because Riot did win in the winner's bracket, they actually did have a 1-0 heading into this best of 5 because they won that winner's bracket. So technically, this is game number 2, our first game of the night. We're going to get that updated as we are going to see Riot have a 2-0 advantage in this best of 3. So if they do get the next win, that's actually going to be GG's for the tournament for Studio Rumble. Again, if you guys do want to check out more information, these are tournaments. This is a tournament held by Studio Rumble, a completely independent organization. That's one thing we want to stress. While you are watching Blizzard versus Riot, which in my opinion is completely awesome, with the fact that, we have these guys, and I look at it as something of a rec league. That's the only way I can equate it. It just so happens to be a very nerdy rec league in the sense that you don't have to get up and run or do anything or throw anything. You just sit and click a mouse and press a keyboard. But either way, this is completely independently run. It's not sponsored by any of these companies that are competing. Pylon is with a company. Pylon, who are you with? And you competed in this as well. If you want to give me kind of your take on it as well, to kind of let everybody know, how this has been going for the different teams involved.
Yeah, so I work for a company called Big Viking Games. We're actually a Canadian company out of London, Ontario, so we're a little bit north of the border for you there. But we heard about this first. I was randomly perusing Reddit one day, and I believe it was the Treyarch team was like, hey, we're going to start doing this. Does anybody want to coach us? Because they're like, we played one game and just got raffle stomped. So they were looking for someone to coach. I was like, oh, a bunch of the people at our studio play, so we wanted to have a little bit of fun and keep playing, so we joined the tournament. We had some good luck early on, and then we played Riot and didn't do so well. So
Riot playing really, really well. I think they won the winner's bracket for a reason, as they went through that second game there, the first game again of the night. Looking pretty strong. They seem to have a good grasp of how the map worked, about the good rotations. We saw some good combinations come out. We saw them get the picks that were needed there. I think a little bit better positioning from Blizzard would have prevented some of those picks out in the open, maybe give them a little bit better shot. But Riot played very well game number 1. So they're now up 2-0 in this best of 5. So
yeah, it's interesting to see that Riot seems to have a bit of a mechanical advantage. They played very, very well, even though it's not their own game. So it seems that some of those League of Legends players may or may not know how to play the game.
I mean, I don't know. Like, I tried to play League of Legends years ago. It wasn't for me. And then I don't know what it was about Heroes of the Storm. Maybe it's because I've played Diablo. Maybe it's because I've played StarCraft. Maybe it's because I've played World of Warcraft. So I was familiar with a lot of stuff. But Heroes of the Storm grew on me very, very quickly. I know that some people are able to come over and it translates well from League of Legends. At least they have a grasp on what they need to do, and they start to learn the mechanics and the gameplay as they go along. So it might translate well for some of these guys. Again, I don't know the history of the people involved, but it seems like they know what they're doing. They definitely seems like they know what they're doing.
Yeah, sorry. It looks like my webcam mic was actually on, so that was changing some of the audio around quite a bit there.
I was wondering the whole time why it sounded like that.
You didn't tell me anything before.
I just thought, like, man, what happened to his microphone?
No, it's apparently my Skype microphone decided to switch on me like 2 minutes before the game started, so it should be good now. Does it sound better at least?
I love Twitch chat because I need to change my face. That's awesome.
Yeah, shout out to Under the Deep for telling me that my webcam mic was on. He is the unsung hero of this game.
I mean, I was just like, man, I don't. We Pilot and I, we've exchanged emails. We talked a little bit after the last series from a couple weeks ago. We got on Skype just a little while ago. I had a tournament that I had to do earlier, and then we got on Skype a little while ago. Again, both of us are on the East Coast. I think I just needed a little bit of break. We got our second wind. Speaking of second win, that's what Riot just got. But my second win, duh. And so we got it to talking. So I didn't really get to hear his microphone a whole lot, and I thought it sounded better. But then we took a pause to start the stream, and I was like, "Is that what it sounded like before?" And I didn't want to say anything. I was just like, "Am I crazy? Am I tired?" I mean, it's like 1:40 in the morning.
Yeah, I think that might have been my problem there. It's a little bit late for us here, but yes, thank you everybody for letting me know that my webcam mic was on. I hope it sounds so much better now because I have a nice Audio Technica mic that I want to hear the soft, subtle sounds of.
A little bit better than a webcam mic.
A little bit better than the webcam mic.
Just a little bit. All right.
We've got some friendly banter going back and forth, complimenting Blizzard on the games they have made, which is kind of nice to see.
They said, we'll give you the PG-13 version. Hey, as a side note, don't know if any of you guys worked on Legacy the Void, but it's amazing. They seem to be fans of each other's games, and why not, right? I mean, just because you work for somebody, I'm sorry, but I like a lot of their games too. But you can see the mutual respect going out. We would bring that to you guys, but we'll let them have that. That's their own little private area where they can chat, have a little bit of banter. I'm going to let them know.
We're ready whenever they give us that link.
Yeah, I believe they said Dragonshire. Did I read that correctly? Yeah, next map is going to be Dragonshire.
Yes.
So small map, 3 lanes, a lot of picks potential. I think, will we see another Kerrigan combo try and come out there? Will we see another Raynor combo come out there? There it is. There's the draft link. We're going to get you guys over there. Again, it's for fun. No need for bans.
No need for bans.
We don't even have a stream delay going on right now.
One of the biggest issues, actually, it was discussed early on in the Studio Rumble, was will there be bans or not? And the problem was most teams couldn't get people that had more than 14 characters available. So they're like, no, we've got like 3 characters we can play. So hopefully you guys are cool with that.
I wonder if anybody, and I'm sure somebody does, maybe not in these teams. I would like to see a gray main pig just for fun.
I would love to see Cho'Gall. If I see a Cho'Gall tonight, I am going to lose my mind in excitement.
Cho'Gall, man, like he was in game 3 of our tournament earlier.
Oh, that was exciting.
They played Cho'Gall really, really well, and Cho'Gall, of course, got some buffs and a little bit of a rework just recently with the patch on Tuesday. Whether that means he's going to be competitive at the upper tier, I don't know, but we actually saw 2 teams in the tournament I did earlier. One of them was at Heroes Rising last month. Both of these teams could very easily, they both have the potential to be going to LA at the end of this month for the qualifiers, as first pick is going to be coming out to Riot. And let's see if they carry anything over from last game. We're about to find out.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see if they try to mix up any strategies or not. From the most part, we have seen in the Studio Rumble, there has been about 15 heroes that get played on a regular basis. So it'll be interesting to see if anybody kind of comes up with any surprise picks or some exciting. But we have Johanna coming up as a first pick for Riot this time.
Not always a first pick in all scenes, but if you want to go with something you're comfortable with, something you know will work, go for it.
It's very possible they're just trying to take that away from Blizzard, as they did pretty well with their Johanna last time, so it may be a little bit of a friendly, like, nope, she's ours now.
She's tough to take down, and we're going to see what Blizzard has as an answer. I feel like they should pick Li Ming anyways. Like, we're breaking the rules tonight, guys. We own this game.
But they are going to go with the Rhaegar as proof that they do own the game. They're like, well, we just buffed this hero. Hopefully we can play with him a little bit tonight, so...
Do you think, like, I don't know. I know Blizzard, they have probably a couple offices, or they have a big campus, or whatever they have going on. Do you think, like, they had their lunch break today, they walked over to one of the other departments, and they're like, hey, can we do lunch today? I got a few questions for you. And, like, they sat around, like, I guess they're a big company. Maybe they have a cafeteria. So they might have a cafeteria break room, and they're sitting there like, hey man, I got a few questions. We're in this finals tonight. We're going against Riot. We don't want to look bad. So who do we pick? I mean, I'm not saying that's how it happened. Maybe they say, hey, maybe there's some tricks you can.
Can we
tell
just
us
look
what
at the
was.
stats to see the win rates of the actual heroes? That'd be great.
Can
Just
you
for a
log
little
into my
bit.
account and give me those heroes?
So it's interesting. We're going to see Kael'thas come out for the first time in this tournament. I don't believe he even got any play last week.
It's going to be pretty scary. Kael'thas against, I'm not taking anything away, but against less experienced people, like when that chain bomb at level 13 is on there, if you're not familiar with it or you're not as familiar with it, you might accidentally spread it to somebody else, and then your whole team is blown up, and you're wondering what the heck just happened.
Yeah, we
So
were playing in the Studio Rumble when the Kael'thas Dream came out, and it was basically Kael'thas Jaina every game. And since there's no bans, there was nothing you could do about it. So it was basically who got first pick on Kael'thas was gonna win the game.
yeah, that was quite a trying time. I mean, that was what, like 8 months ago.
That was a while ago, yeah.
God, it feels. I mean, I think it was because Kael'thas was last May.
He was still it was still the beta at the point of Kael'thas coming out.
I think he
So
came out like May,
it would have been
right?
Johanna came out June, so whoever was the hero before Johanna would have been May. It may have been Kael'thas. Someone in chat will let us know exactly who it
Somebody
was.
in chat, fact check Kael'thas release date. But looking at it, we are seeing again another strong draft from Blizzard. Rhaegar, Zagara, Vala, and Mirrodin. Mirrodin obviously with a little bit of a change to his avatar. More health, no stun.
Yeah, it
So
looks like that change is going to be a little bit interesting as people try to figure out how to play Muradin. We may even see a Haymaker in this game. You don't really know what's going to happen.
I would love to see the Haymaker. I'm kind of curious to see if it's going to make its way into the new meta. I mean, the thing is, Muradin used to be #1 warrior by far,
Easily.
like by far, and now people aren't as big a fan of him, especially getting rid of that. I mean, the avatar is nice and all. He's still tanky. He's still got a Stormbolt he can throw out, but I just looked over.
Yep.
Huh.
Speaking of
I-
new meta, we're going to have Gazlo this game.
I like it.
I love it,
I like
Gazlo.
it.
He's a fun hero to play. I really hope they do a little bit of a rework on him because everything he does is fun. The problem is just nothing actually seems to ever come out of it. But who knows what's going to happen here? He can rip apart melee heroes, so maybe they're using it as an answer to Rhaegar and Muradin at this point.
Put some turrets up around one of the shrines, and then the talent Clockwork Steam Fist. I'm keeping the patch notes up because there were so many. Like I remember most of them, but when you think about Gazlo, you don't necessarily pay attention as much to Gazlo patch notes.
I think Gazlo's patches were mostly just ability toolchip changes, except for the fact that his D now dismounts him.
Yeah,
So he
but
kind of got a nerf.
the Clockwork Steam Fist is actually gonna give you one instead of 1 second, it gives you 1.5 seconds per basic attack for the turret duration.
Yes.
Which means that if you're manning that top lane and you want to be able to throw turrets in kind of a safe area and you can stay in a lane and continue to attack, maybe you'll be able to continue to do a few things with it. I don't know. Like Gazlo, if
I don't
anything
know what's
happens
gonna
with him, it'd be cool to see Gazlo. I think he's probably still on the board for a few more reworks. At least they made him a little better.
The nice thing with Gazlo on Dragonshire, the one redeeming factor he has is he can put those turrets right around the turn-in point to try to pick up the actual dragon, and when he does that, it makes it very difficult for the other team to try to capture it.
Well, we're gonna find out. That last pick that came in there for Blizzard was Thrall. So a couple green guys coming out today. Blizzard has a strong draft. I mean, a really strong draft. Riot, everything looks good. I'm really curious about the Gazlo pick, but I'm ready. I'm letting them know. I just switched back over to game. We are ready to go. This is again game number 3, game number 2 for the night. Again, that first win did go to Riot, or the free win, I guess, essentially, because they won the winners bracket, and then they won game number 2 tonight in our first game. And this is going to be Dragonshire. Dragonshire, a 3-lane map, much smaller. And they are switching sides on me. If you want to explain Dragonshire, I'm going to update these team names because
I don't
oh
think
no,
they,
they did keep
they
the
did
same.
not
They did
switch
keep the
sides.
same.
No,
Sorry.
don't worry, you're good. But yeah,
Yeah,
so
okay.
Dragonshire is an interesting map as it's a 3-lane, as Jayhow was saying, and the object of the game here is you want to control the 2 shrines, one at the top, one in the bottom lane. Once your team controls both of them, you're able to unleash this Dragon Knight that just does tons of siege damage and can zone out players very, very well. So you want to do that early on in the game, as you will be able to get quite the push with it.
The punt for the Dragon Knight, the cooldown is much quicker. So the wind up used to be so long that you used to be able to reposition yourself so that you could avoid being kicked in the wrong direction. Now it's much quicker with a little bit longer cooldown. Either way, looking at the teams, we are going to have Blizzard on the left side for the blue team again. We're going to have Skachik there on Vala, B-Song on Thrall, Pikex once again on Zagara, Strifey on Muradin, and Batman on Rhaegar.
And for Riot, we've got Maximus covering Johanna, Nick Wu on Kael'thas, Mia covering that Raynor again, and then in the bottom lane, we've got Shanzilla on Malfurion, and Clarky D is covering our favorite Gazlo.
Looking at it, we do see the party bush potential right now for that of Blizzard, but not having any of it as we do see Gazlo down there already getting his turret set up. He's getting in position, and they're just going with a complete split lane. We do see Johanna over here hiding in the bush. She'll be okay. We do see 4 members coming out repositioning. Maximus said, hey, I don't want any of this. You guys can have those early minions. We're going to get to work elsewhere.
It doesn't look like they're going to be able to use their party bush that they used last game at the beginning here, as everybody just split up and is playing pretty safe. But they are going to be going down on Muradin or Malfurion here, and it looks like Gazlo is going to go down. No, my little goblin buddy is going to lose it.
Gazlo suffering an early death there, so first blood going out right before the shrines get called out. We're going to have another 15 seconds before this gets started. And will we see more gank potential? This is something we talked about when we first saw the map, is that there's a lot more potential for these rotations and ganks, as we do see Zagara putting that creep down in that lane. Nice stun coming out, not able to follow up on it, but Zagara getting that creep down to basically say, hey, we're going to get you, but I'm going to know when you're coming. And that's the joy of Zagara. She's trying to do some early structure damage there.
And we've seen Riot kind of holding back by their tower here as they're going to try to sneak in there, but they've got that Zagara vision, so they might not be able to get in there, but they are going to try to take control of both shrines there. We see Blizzard moving up mid there just to try to cover it, but they're going to start moving down, and it looks like they're going in for the gank on Malfurion and Gazlo, but they are not going to be able to get anything in time.
But you have to be a little bit careful there. We do have Muradin and Johanna in the middle, but with both shrines captured, and you can see now Blizzard saying, hey, wait a minute, we're going to contest at least one. And the roots continuing to go out, continuing to zone everybody out as we now see a rotation come down. Kael'thas is now down there. We do see a 2v2 in this middle lane. Who's going to get the best of it? Stripey having to get out of there, doesn't want to take any more damage. And I'm curious if they're going to go ahead and rotate up, if Blizzard's just going to wait and bait, or if they're going to try and rotate down as we see Shantzilla once again on this. And we do see the stun coming out from Thrall. Can he get out of there? Pikex in a little bit of danger too. Shantzilla goes down. Pikex, will he go down? We do see, oh man, that is another dead Gazlo there.
The poor guy. But it might be enough for Pikex to go down. It doesn't look like he's going to be able to get that there, no.
Pikex should be very thankful. I think they had those Blizzard power-ups that say if it goes to 1 health, just show 5.
Yeah, he barely made it to that one alive.
I'm calling hacks on that one. As we take a look at the top lane, to where there's not a lot going on, we do see Vala facing off against Raynor. This is going to be one that's going to be contested back and forth. Most of the action right now is going on between that bottom and mid lane, but we do see Batman and Strifey rotating up. Raynor has to be careful. They're already low on health, and we see Strifey repositioning, and will he be able to dive back in there and get a stun? That is going to be Muradin. If he gets that Dwarf Toss on a stun out, there comes the Dwarf Toss, down comes the reverb there, and we do see the stun come out and the follow-up potential there as Raynor does go down.
In the bottom lane, we saw the combo of Kael'thas and Gazlo starting to take mercs, so it might be a game where Gazlo's just going to be merking around all game. That gives quite a bit of lane presence and gives them the ability to easily capture the shrines without having to worry about the team being able to get right in on their face.
Just as you called it, those siege minions are now going to be pushing up on this bottom lane in this front fort. As we take a look at this middle lane, we do see B-Song taking a bit of damage there between Johanna and Kael'thas, having to be very careful, very low on health, very low on mana. Might be a good time for him to be, as he does pick up a health globe there, but I'm not sure. We do see Shantzilla and Cloaky down here starting to do damage. As you can see, starting to pay dividends. Gazlo down here with the siege minions. This is one of his strong points, as you see, coming out here. and getting this early talent advantage. But in the top lane, we might have a rotation.
No, it looks like they're both going to back off there and just allow the lane to push a little bit out further. We may see Raynor go up to try to take that tower so that they can get a good push and grab that dragon, but maybe in mid lane we see nope. Johanna, the lady that is impossible to kill, gets away again.
And down here in the bottom lane, continuing the assault right now, both shrines capture. Mirrodin is going to have to defend there against Johanna. And we can see now starting to take that down, but look at the amount of turrets that are down. That's 4 turrets. They're going to try and clear that up, else that's going to do a lot of damage. You can actually see B-Song took quite a bit of damage, about a quarter of his health there, and the Dragon Knight is going to be captured there without contest, and the first Dragon Knight going to that of Riot.
So it looks like we actually are going to see a strength of Gazlo here, as he is going to give them some great lane presence with all the murking that he is able to do. They were not able to get back there and capture that bottom shrine to prevent the Riot team from taking that.
With Gazlo on that bottom lane, if he's able to take that fort down, as we now see Zagara coming down there, but if he is able to eat that fort up, or at least take some of that ammo, and this Dragon Knight can take a fort down, possibly two, if they're able to get enough out of it by rotating up, especially with this Gazlo, that's going to put them even closer to 10 there. As you can see, now hitting level 9, the experience has been fairly even, but this Dragon Knight could start to set them apart.
Yep, and it looks like that dragon is going to easily take out this fort, as 4 members of Riot are pushing in on that lane to defend against the 4 others from Blizzard. They're still going up. Their dragon still has a bit of health, so they're not worrying at all at this moment.
Dropping out, they're about half a level away from 10. If they can secure that with a few more minion kills here, possibly a pick, they have to be very careful. Starting to blow up there, as we do see Mirrodin does go down there, and if they can take this tower down, this is going to be level 10, and I'm curious if they're going to try and push with it and getting that experience in that top lane. And we are going to see the heroics are going to lock in. We're going to see Blessed Shield, and I think we're still having some issues with the tooltip, because we do have the Gravo Bomb that's going to be coming out there. Hyperion already going up in that top lane, but he has to be careful. They're all on him, and we do see Skakik coming in and getting that damage, trying to get that structure damage out with that Hyperion, cost Raynor his life in that top lane.
It's interesting, too. We're going to start seeing a big mold merc rotation from Gazlo here. The team is just grouping up with Gazlo to let him take as many mercs as he can, and you're going to see Thrall trying to grab some mercs to prevent this from happening.
He's doing just that, staying in that top lane, getting a little bit of backup from that Valley. It is going to take him off. He is there by himself, but in this middle lane, they have to be careful for them not to be able to push in. We do see Strifey rotating over, trying to defend. And as you talked about, in that bottom lane, in that bottom camp, we do see Claky D down there just continuing to do Gazlo things and grab these camps.
Yeah, that's going to give them some great presence for when the next shrine props up. If they can already have that bottom lane pushed out without having any creep to defend it, they won't have the vision anymore, and they will be able to capture it without any issues at all.
We do see the party bush potential there. They were waiting for them to go middle. Now we have 4 members here coming down to rotation on the bottom, and it does look like we are going to have the engagement here, but a 2-person maul does go down. The Blessed Shield comes out. Malfurion stuck in a bad area, but does pop his Tranquility. Able to stay alive. He's healing up quite a bit. We do see the Phoenix come out. Nice Gravo Bomb there. The stun does come out. Now we see Pikex go down. Thrall goes down there. So Zagara and Thrall, nicely done there by Gazlo. Huge amount of damage there. And nice stun, nice crowd control, and nicely done by Riot. Now they're going to be pushing this bottom lane.
I was amazed to see that Malfurion stay alive in that one. He was lucky to get out of that, but they must have just lost a little bit of focus from the Blizzard team there, and he was able to get out. And then that Gravo Bomb just saves the day. Gazlo, MVP, I'm calling it.
Gazlo MVP so far, as we do see the Hyperion coming up. The gate is down. We do see another grasp there and get into that back line, and this is what I was talking about. They're about to hit level 13. They're going to have to be very careful. This keep is here, but once that chain bomb does start to come out, they're going to have to make sure and stay plenty far back from each other. But with this camp and with a full team rotation, this keep is going down, and that's level 13 now for Riot. And Pikex, be very careful. Pikex getting gravity lapsed. Woo.
Looks like he's going to be able to get out of that one there. And as I was mentioning earlier, this lane is fully pushed out, and there is a lot of minion wave pushing back on this. So Riot's going to be able to grab that shrine without any difficulties. They may want to go up top and deal with the merc push there, but they're not going to have too many problems grabbing this dragon.
Not at all. You do see the rotation now going up. In that meantime, what you called just a little while ago was that camp in that top lane that was grabbed by Thrall. And we can actually see that front gate is down in that top lane on the side of Riot. And that fort has no ammo and just about half health. And it looks like they do spot Raynor here. They do wait for him to come out. Zagara coming out. Zagara probably not the one to lead the charge there. Should have waited for a Mirrodin. But now we do have the rest of Riot rotating up. The gravity lapse does go out there. It looks like we've got an engagement again.
But we've got a nice maul there from Blizzard that zones them out a little bit, and it looks like we might see some go down, and we see Kael'thas go down, and soon it looks like Malfurion, he is down too. The Riot team is backing off as much as they can, but it looks like Gazlo might not be able to get out. Oh, but he does get his Gavel Bomb off, but it is not enough, and then Blizzard takes a very decisive win out of that team fight.
Just when things did start to look bleak there, level 13 was hit for Riot. It does look like they had a nice rotation, did Blizzard, to go ahead and try and even the score a little bit. Losing Avala, 3 members of Riot going down was very nicely done. Raynor has to be careful here. We do see in that top lane, that shrine being captured by Johanna. We do see Thrall going to the bottom to try and contend that, as we do see Raynor does go down now. And now we do have a 5-1 or 5-4 advantage in favor of Blizzard. This is their opportunity to pick a fight and try and pick somebody off here and really start to turn this game in their favor.
The decision-making from Blizzard is going to be very crucial in this point here. If they split off and try to grab Merc camps to prevent Gazlo from taking them, they're not going to be able to hold that advantage for much longer, and Raynor is going to come up and make those team fights very hard. But it looks like they are going to go on that Siege Giant with Kael'thas is there. Will Kael'thas see in time and be able to get out? It looks like he'll get out, but they're going to grab that Siege camp.
And this is going to be an interesting rotation, because getting that camp in that top lane, they are going to rotate over, but not before that siege camp is gathered. Strafey has to be careful as he does dwarf toss out of there. Coming down that back lane with that blessed shield is Maximus. He is diving in deep and causing all kinds of havoc there for Blizzard. And there's that chain bomb we were talking about, trying to get out of there. And now we see a nice disengage there on the side of Blizzard. They didn't want that fight, and a good call there by Blizzard.
And Blizzard's pretty weak now. If Riot is able to grab that shrine in the bottom lane, they're probably going to be able to grab that dragon before Blizzard's able to contest it.
We do see on point there. Maximus is there. Strafey rotating over. They have to know the Stormbolt does go out on Nick Wu, and Nick Wu is in all kinds of trouble. But PKX got grabbed there, not before getting out the Devouring Maul. 1-for-1 trade right now. Batman just getting the Ancestral Heal in there on himself, so staying alive. But Maya there on Raynor. Can he get that? Yes, right before Strafey is able to secure that. We do see Maya getting that Dragonite, and they're going to push this middle fort. And this could get them to 16 and start to turn the fight back into Riot's favor.
Yeah, it would have been interesting if Blizzard had decided to, instead of going for those Merc camps, if they had gone straight for the shrines to grab the dragon, but it doesn't look like that's what they wanted to do, and it may end up costing them quite dearly here.
And pushing this mid keep lane, they are going to get this front gate down as all kinds of damage is going out. Level 16 is hit, and we see Gazlo coming in here with the support. You know he's going to do plenty of damage, but backing off right now. And there we go, just a reposition. We do see Maya coming back in on that Dragonite. The roots go down. Got to be careful. The Condemn does come out there and trying to root him in there, but that is Mirrodin. He is going to get out of there. The stun does come out, but we do see right now that front gate is down, and I'm curious, are they going to go ahead and try and rotate and get another one? But the DK is kind of leaving the rest of the team out in the open here. They got to be kind of careful.
And he's going in for a charge just to kind of zone out some other players here. It looked like they were going to go way back for a minion wave to push, because that dragon still does take a fair amount of damage from the towers, so they want to use it as well as they can. But it looks like they're going to stay in here for another fight. Nick Wu is extremely low, but Malfurion pops his heals to try to keep them alive so they can stay in for another team fight.
I am curious with this Tranquility and that talent level advantage. I was curious if they were going to rotate back over, and I felt like that might have been a good call there to try and potentially get their first keep. But that bottom keep is down, which means that the minions are on the cores. We do see the shields there now popping up on the core, rotating back on this backside is Blizzard, trying to get a camp of their own, trying to make something happen. They really need to get a fourth there. They're not terribly far down in experience, but they are going to need another pick or at least another team fight win like they got before. And there's potential right here because we have 4 members rotating up, and we do have Johanna locked out here. This is a good time for them to try and blow somebody up. They're not sure where the rest of the members are, and so they're just kind of leaving it be. Maximus playing a little cautious here, but he's got to be very careful as there are several members here.
It looks like they're going to back off here. They're not going to be able to engage on that fight. I don't think they have as much vision as they would hope to with their Zagara, so they are not able to see where exactly the rest of that team is. And we're going to see them down bottom, and it looks like they might go for a sneak on the core right here. They've got
Blizzard
2
having
sets
to
of
Hearth
Mercs.
back. Yeah, Blizzard having a Hearth back. We do see them all making the right call, but we have this camp pushing the bottom lane. Gravity Labs going out on Vala. Has to be careful. The chain heals does come out. Hyperion coming up, doing that damage on the keep. I would have liked to seen that probably go the other direction towards the enemy heroes, but if they're able to secure that keep, that is good for them. I'm not sure if they're going to rotate out or continue this fight. They are in a prime position as down in the bottom lane. They are just now clearing out those camps. And continuing to, I guess they kill that healing well on that top side. And we can see Maximus going in with that. We see the Gravity Labs coming out once again. Thrall.
And we're seeing the Gravel Bomb go down and miss.
Gravel Bomb does miss, but we do see Strafe coming out trying to do some damage, but getting zoned in a very troubling spot here. Vala has to be careful as we see the Reeds going out, grabbing Muradin in a little bit of trouble. That's Rhaegar trying to get out of there. And all kinds of damage going out. Skakik in all kinds of trouble. Strifey, he's going to have to be careful. He's about to get blown up by a Kael'thas. 2 members down for Blizzard. This could be the beginning of the end for Blizzard as we now see Vala go down, Rhaegar go down, Pylon. I think this is it.
This might be it. However, the Riot team is still extremely low, so it'll be interesting to see if there's just enough damage to come out on this. Thrall might be up with a Sunder any second now. If he can get that out there, that might slow off the game. But no, we are seeing GGs from Blizzard at this point.
He still needs to at least cast the Sunder. Come on, Thrall. Give it one last effort. Out comes the Sunder. The damage is coming out from the core. Can they defend? We do see Gazlo goes down, but 30%. Nick Wu, he's getting there. He is going to be GG. Riot taking this game just when it looked like Blizzard might be turning things around. Riot showed their strength once again.
Yeah, that was an interesting play at the end there. Riot just... That Gazlo actually gave them so much lane presence that it allowed them to just kind of do whatever they needed to do. And that bottom lane, they saw an opportunity and they just jumped on it.
So Riot, they won out in the winners bracket. They come in here and you can see the damage and the team coordination and everything they were able to do. They now win this best of 5. And again, there may or may not be a trophy. Pylon, I guess, with the experience because he was involved as a competitor in this tournament. I think he said there was a trophy going out. There's no cash prizes. This isn't like your Everyday Heroes amateur tournament. It's just, again, people having a good time.
People having a fun time, people playing the game for fun. No one's in this to try to push for the win or trying to be uber competitive. It's also not an example of the best team at one company versus the best team at another. As we were saying, Blizzard, I believe, had 5 or 6 teams entered in this Studio Rumble. Riot had 3 or 4, I believe. So the bigger teams had a lot of teams in it. So this is just the ones that happened to make it out of the top brackets.
Yeah, no way was anything stacked. Again, we do want to reiterate, in case you weren't around for the introduction, or at least us recapping it, we do want to make sure this is hosted by Studio Rumble, completely independent group of people that put all this together. You can check it out at studiorumble.com. You can check out a lot of information. They do a different game every year. In no way is it sponsored by Blizzard or Riot or any of those teams that are involved, including Pylon's company as well, which will have him give them another shout out and thanks for competing. But in no way is anybody involved in that company-wise. It's just people having a good time creating their own independent league, which I think is absolutely amazing. And then the fact that nobody is stacking teams. It's not like they're playing for money. It's just everybody's out to have a good time, which I think we saw here tonight between Riot and Blizzard. But Pylon, give us a little bit more information if you want about the company that you're with. And kind of what you guys do. I think that'd be a good opportunity for you guys because you guys were able to compete in this. I don't think Riot or Blizzard needs any introduction, but if you guys...
Riot, I still feel, is a little bit of the underdog here, trying to come up in the world of video games, but I understand. No, so Big Viking Games is a social and mobile game company. We specialize in HTML5 games and Facebook games as well. So you may have heard of one of our games that we've made a long time ago called Yo World. It was previously called Yoville, as we sold it to Zynga, but then after a long time, Zynga decided they were going to shut it down. So what we did is we bought the game back from Zynga, which is the first time anybody's ever bought a game from Zynga. So we run that game, Yo World. It's a pretty popular game on Facebook. And then right now we're also building some HTML5 games for mobile.
Right on. You guys can check them out again. If you want to follow Pylon, I know he'll probably have some information, but again, Big Viking Game. Is it Big Vikings Games?
Big Viking Games.
Okay, Big Viking Games. So you guys can check out a lot of stuff that they're doing as well. Pylon, pleasure having you on tonight. Blizzard and Riot, good games, guys. Thanks for letting us cast, especially the guys at Blizzard who contacted me and Pylon a couple weeks ago. Thank you guys so much for allowing us to do this. And it is now 2 o'clock here on the East Coast. So I hope you guys on the West Coast
go to bed.
I hope you guys on the West Coast are feeling pretty good. I know that I'm going to go to bed, and I'm going to stay tight, fellas. Everybody have a great night. Again, thank you for stopping by the channel. And again, if you want to follow me on Twitter, you can find out more tournaments that I'm casting at various points. I've got an announcement that I'll be coming out with hopefully tomorrow or this weekend, which I'm pretty excited about. So if you guys want to check out some stuff that I've got coming up, as well as you can see information below, YouTube, stuff like that. But thank you guys for stopping by. Everybody have a great night. Pylon, a pleasure having you on, man.
And thank you for having me. I know it was kind of a last minute thing. We actually didn't know each other until about a week ago. I don't think
right.
you even know who I was at that point, but thanks for having me on.
Sorry.
This was a great opportunity, a lot of fun. So
yeah, definitely. Everybody have a good night. And again, thanks for stopping by, and see you next time. Stay tight.